All right, we're in Pontiac, Michigan, y'all. New York Times are gonna be hot because I'm taking this right off their plate. Bear with me. Suspect in Michigan school shooting faces murder and terrorism charges. 15 years old. Think about that. Haven't charged any of these other individuals with terrorism. A 15-year-old accused of killing four of his classmates and wounding seven other people had described wanting to attack the school in cell phone videos and a journal, the authorities said. Students and community members created a memorial outside of Oxford High School in Michigan. Pontiac, Michigan. On Tuesday morning, the parents of a 15-year-old sophomore walked into Oxford High School to meet face to face with school officials who had grown concerned about their son's classroom behavior. Just about 3 hours after the meeting started, according to law enforcement authorities, the student, Ethan Crumbly, walked into a school bathroom carrying a backpack and emerged with a handgun. He began firing, killing four students and wounding seven people in the deadliest school shooting this year. This year alone, that's how pathetic school shootings have gotten, how often and frequent they become. And frequent, not infrequent. New details about the suspect's behavior and actions in the hours leading up to the shooting spree emerged on Wednesday as he was charged with terrorism, 4 counts of first-degree murder, and an array of other charges. Prosecutors said they were also considering charges against the suspect's parents. The authorities said Mr. Crumbly carried out the shooting in a Detroit suburb using a handgun his father had bought 4 days earlier. It was one of 800,000 to 700,000 firearms purchased over the Black Friday sales. I don't have that article. I'm not going to read all that to you. I'm just going to tell you that. On Wednesday, as people in the shattered Oxford community grieved and were any asked whether any signs had been missed, authorities offered the first details of what they described as a mountain of digital and paper evidence showing the suspect's planning and desire to kill Oxford students his desire to kill students at Oxford High School. During a video arraignment, law enforcement authorities told the judge that investigators had recovered two cell phone videos Mr. Crumbly had made the night before the shooting in which he talked about killing Oxford students the next day. They also found a journal in his backpack detailing his desire to shoot up the school, authorities said. This is the sheriff over here talking about it, looking useless. And this are students, I'm guessing, who go to the school. And they just feel, they're just trying to do something, but, what they should be doing is trying to figure out who else is just like this dude and telling them and getting them reported right now. Anyway, let me keep it pushing. This defendant planned the shooting, Mark Key said. An Oakley County prosecutor told the judge he deliberately brought the handgun that day with the intent to murder as many students as he could. But that doesn't make it terrorism. Terrorism is normally defined as someone's, like acts that are normally for some sort of goal. Like there's some sort of political goal at that normally. So I don't know what his political goal would have been. Some would say it's white supremacy. I would just say that he had access to firearms and just hadn't been properly vetted by his parents because there's a lot of teenagers that have access to firearms that would never do anything like this. So we're not gonna. It's not that it's a standalone thing. It's just that he is so one of few of it. Unless you're gonna castigate the parents for telling their children where to find the firearms when someone is intruding in their home, then you're gonna have to find the medium where you tell yourself, okay, it may actually only be because that they're in this situation because they told this man. He's being charged as an adult, so I have to call him a man. But this young boy, adolescent, whatever, that this is where you go get the firearm in case somebody breaks in. I don't think they thought that what he done he was ever going to do. So Mr. Crumbly fired more than 30 rounds as terrified students raced for safety and locked themselves inside classroom doors, barricaded by desks, the authorities said. He still had 18 rounds in his possession when he was apprehended, they said. The toll of the shooting grew on Wednesday after a fourth student, Justin Schilling, 17, died about 10 a.m. at McLaren Oakland Hospital in Pontiac, Michigan, according to the sheriff's office. The other students killed were Hannah St. Juliana, Madison Baldwin, Tate Mayer, who died in the sheriff's squad car while on the way to the hospital because he was like their famous little dude. At least two of the injured students, who officials say range in the age from 14 to 17, remain in critical condition. A teacher, the only wounded adult, was discharged from a hospital on Tuesday. The Oakland County prosecutor, Karen D. McDonald, acknowledged that her decision to charge the suspect with terrorism was not typical for a mass shooting prosecution, but she said it reflected the wider trauma suffered by the hundreds of students who fled gunshots hid under their desks and will be haunted for years. Those are victims too, and so are their families, and so is the community. The charge of terrorism reflects that. Now I need y'all to understand, this is deep, y'all. Like I said, hold on. Let's just go ahead. Here we go. The use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. I told y'all it's about something political. Word. I wouldn't lie to you. If I hope they never take it down like that because y'all seen it just now. I'm telling y'all what it is. I don't care if the shit is chopped up and I'm sounding like a robot. This is coming out this moment. Ms. McDonald, an elected Democrat, says she hoped the shooting would prompt changes in Michigan's gun law, expressing exasperation that her community had become the latest to be devastated by a deadly school shooting. There have been 29 shootings on school property this year, most of them without fatalities, according to the tally by Education Week. Now, let me go ahead and point out something else real quick. Where was the terrorism charges for the dude who walked into the governor's office? Come on. Didn't shoot nobody, but they had a political aim. And that was a use of violence because it was the threat of violence through the firearm and what it symbolized and the basis of their action, which was that they were unhappy with the political structure and the powers that be as of right now. And right, none of them charge with terrorism, but they charge this dude with terrorism. Need y'all to understand it's backwards, but it's okay though. Charge away, because I'm not the prosecutor. How many times does this have to happen? She asked. We have become desensitized to school shootings. People hugging each other. I'm not desensitized. That's what I expect. It's par for the course. Mr. Crumbly was also charged with 7 counts of assault with intent to murder and 12 counts of possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony. Classmates, family members, and law enforcement officials mourned and memorialized the victims on Wednesday as Ms. McDonald announced the charges against the suspect. She also paused after a few details about the victims: athletes, a big sister, an honor student, a joyful kid. Madison Baldwin was described by her grandmother on a GoFundMe page as beautiful, smart, sweet, loving girl, and the prosecutor called her a talented artist and big sister. Stop right there. Now, what I think is weird about all this is that they're charging them with terrorism as opposed to an innumerable number of counts of attempted murder. Because if you're saying this was all random, listen now, we're going to go back up. Matter of fact, we're going to go to this other page right here because it just has all the names right at the beginning. If he didn't have a beef with Tate Mayer or Hannah St. Juliana, Madison Baldwin, or Justin Schilling, if there's no beef with any of these individuals, right, you have to charge him with attempted murder on everybody because he would have killed whoever he could have shot given the same circumstances. See, this is why they can't. Anyway, man, they need to mess with your boy. They need to reach out to me way more before they just start throwing out these charges. Because I'm telling you, my creative mind is just too vicious. This dude would be getting charged with however many counts of murder of all the students that are at that school. that would be that. There would be no terrorism charge. It would just be so ridiculous where it's like, and then, we're trying to, I don't even want to execute you per se. I just want to put you in the hard labor where your body will give out. Word. And then you know, then you'll be executed. So it's hard labor, then the punishment. You don't just get to just die. But these dudes, anyway, man, they're gonna try to drag this stuff out, even though they came to a to me, pretty expedient verdict for your boy Rittenhouse, even though he's not a school shooter, and they're just now coming to face to face with your boy. What's his name? Cruz, whatever his name is, down there in uh, Florida, whatever his name is, I don't care. They're all the same to me, man. Somebody who clearly couldn't take what they were going through and took it out on everybody else. Just a second. I don't think I need to explain this to y'all, but your children need to be homeschooled. Vital, vital, vital. If you don't do that, you've done no good thing by the children. They are children, they are not baby goats. Kids, by definition, formally, not informally, are an animal. And I refuse to refer to your children as animals lest you think they are. No matter how rambunctious or energetic they may seem, that's a person. And you must respect your child as such. When the schools start to take this approach, there will be a bigger difference in what they can actually achieve. Once again, this is par for the course to me because they're not going to change. They will continue down the path that they are on. Things will get worse, not get better. The pseudo miracles or the pseudo good things that they show to the people will be for naught. However, I wanted to share my thoughts on the matter with you before anybody else did. We're out.